Opening bell on Wall Street right now, 9:30 in New York. This is a day after the Fed chief admitted that Russia's war in Ukraine is not driving inflation and that prices were soaring well before Putin's invasion. Maria Bartiromo here to talk about this and more. Maria, good morning to you. Nice to have you here. I want to play for our viewers in case they missed it. Bill Hagerty is a Republican senator from Tennessee. He was the one who led the questioning with the Fed chair on the question about when inflation was starting. Here's the exchange, runs about 30 seconds. Let's listen.
No, inflation was high before, certainly before the war in Ukraine broke out.
I'm glad to hear you say that. The Biden administration seems to be intent on deflecting blame, and as recently as just this past Sunday, spread the misinformation that Putin's invasion of Ukraine is the, quote, biggest single driver of inflation. I'm glad you agree with me that that is not the truth.
The pointed matter came from Hagerty, Maria, right before that, when he stated the question, is it true or not? And the Fed chief, Powell, said no. Simultaneously at the White House, the president's blaming Putin. On it goes. In the same day, you're repudiated on this score. And on the same day, also, you've got Democrats are slamming your whole idea about a federal gas tax holiday. He's pointing the finger everywhere but where it should be, and that is increase oil production here at home.
Well, that's exactly right, Bill. Good morning to you. The problem is if he admits it, if President Biden admits that we need to increase production of oil and gas on the global market, then right there his whole clean energy, his climate change agenda blows up. And it is very evident to everyone involved that this was a massive mistake. And that is why we are here right now. Everybody knows that when Joe Biden walked into the Oval Office, inflation was at 1.4%. I mean, get your head around that. 1.4% was the CPI in January of 2021. And we see how it has moved up all alongside his policies. The COVID relief package signed into law in March of 2021. Inflation popped up. A couple of months later, the Democrats were pushing their $5 trillion spending package, which they said was $3.9 trillion, which was full of gimmicks. And the inflation rate kept moving higher. In November of 21, they signed into law a $1 trillion infrastructure package. Again, inflation kept creeping up. It was close to 8% by the time Putin invaded Ukraine, which, of course, now takes us to 8.6%. And most people expect it to get worse because, as I mentioned to you the last time we spoke, the fact is that much of that money has not been spent out of the COVID relief package. Many states were given hundreds of billions of dollars in money from the COVID relief package, and it has not been appropriated. So as you have more dollars chasing too few goods, you will see inflation elevate. And that is what the market knew. The market knew. That's why we're down 30% on the NASDAQ year to date, because markets have been worried that we are, in fact, in a recession right now as a result of inflation taking a bite out of our wages.
Okay, Granholm, Jennifer Granholm, Energy Secretary out of Michigan, she suggested you could use the Defense Production Act to try and curb high gas prices. And do what? Build a new refinery?
Bill, these are all fringe things. It's a fringe thing to say the Defense Act is going to really move the needle. It's a fringe idea to say taking oil out of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is going to move the needle. None of these things have moved the needle because what you really need to see is a fundamental change in terms of production from the United States. Make no mistake, the gas station owners don't put the price out. The oil company CEOs do not say what the price of gasoline is. No, the price of gas and oil is reached by simple supply-demand dynamics. Bottom line, supply was taken out when President Biden killed the XL pipeline. Supply was taken out when Biden said no to drilling on federal land. And as a result, the U.S. is no longer energy independent. And that is the crux of the problem. But again, if he admits that, that is going to tell the world I was wrong with pushing this climate agenda throughout every single agency, a whole government approach. Don't forget about the Securities and Exchange Commission rules on all companies, S&P 500 companies, telling them we want to know details on your climate risk, on the risk of your customers, your associates, etc. This has put a chill into doing business with fossil fuel companies, and that is the crux of the problem. We're going to see more volatility in this market, Bill. Don't forget, we're only 2 weeks away from the end of the second quarter. The quarter ends June 30th. A week later, we'll start getting second quarter earnings. A lot of people are expecting that we are seeing a profit recession. What does that mean? It means that companies are going to come out and say, rest of the year does not look good. Stock prices go down. Volatility ensues.
Well stated, Maria. Thank you. The way we were. Thanks, Maria. Talk to you soon. Dana.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.